2022 has been an eventful year for space exploration and discoveries, but this doesn't mean that 2023 is going to be any less of a year for space. So, let's jump into some of the most exciting missions to look forward to for 2023. We begin with everything India has planned for 2023. India's private space launch. Skyroot Aerospace, which successfully launched its Vikram S rocket in November 2022, is soon to become the first private Indian company to launch a satellite. Skyroot's first satellite launch is planned for 2023 with a goal of undercutting cost of private space launch rivals by producing its 3D printed rockets in just a matter of days. If successful, this could also provide a route for cheaper launches of scientific missions, enabling a faster rate of research. Next, we move on to a news which, if successful, could lead to a historic achievement for India. Uncrewed test flights for India's Gaganyaan human spaceflight program. India is aiming to be just the fourth nation to independently launch astronauts into space after the Soviet Union, the United States, and most recently, China in 2003. The Gaganyaan program was originally aimed to put crew in space in 2022 to mark the 75th year of Indian independence, but it has suffered delays, including those brought on by the COVID pandemic. Gaganyaan G1, the first of two unmanned test flights, might launch on an LVM-3 rocket in the last quarter of 2023. From then, the goal of the Indian Space Research Organization would be to move closer to the first crewed mission, which is currently scheduled for the first quarter of 2024. Moving on to perhaps the most awaited mission set to happen in 2023. Chandrayaan-3 lunar lander. India attempted its first lunar landing in September 2019. It got close to the lunar surface during its powered descent, but then control was lost and the spacecraft made a crash landing. The country will be looking to go one better in 2023 with the Chandrayaan-3 lander expected to launch from the Satish Dhawan Space Center on an LVM-3 rocket around June, and join the three nations to have successfully soft landed on the moon as of late 2022. Moving on to all the other important space missions happening all over the world in 2023. Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. In April, the European Space Agency is set to launch the Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, also known as JUICE, in what will be Europe's first dedicated robotic mission to Jupiter. JUICE is due to reach the planet in July 2031 after performing an incredible flight path through the solar system. After 4 years of moon flybys, JUICE will enter into orbit around Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, becoming the first spacecraft to ever reach the orbit around moon of another planet, which might open up a whole new world of discoveries for us. Next, we move on to updates about the SpaceX Starship. The Super Heavy Starship spacecraft is expected to make its first orbital test flight in early 2023, though SpaceX has yet not provided a specific date as of the time of publishing. It is going to be the largest spacecraft that can transport people from Earth to locations in space. With the ability to launch 100 tons of payload into low Earth orbit, it will be the most potent launch vehicle ever to take the skies. Now, on to the last, but definitely not the least, space missions of the year. The Origin Spectral Interpretation Resource Identification Security Regolith Explorer, mercifully more commonly known as OSIRIS-REx, is a NASA mission to near-Earth asteroid Bennu. A key goal of this robotic mission was to acquire samples of Bennu and return them to Earth for analysis. OSIRIS-REx is now fast returning to Earth up to 1 kilogram of precious asteroid samples stored aboard. If all goes well, the capsule will detach from the spacecraft, enter the Earth's atmosphere, and parachute to a soft landing in the desert of Utah on September 24. So, this was a quick rundown of everything exciting planned for space this year. Which missions do you think might result to be the biggest contributions to space explorations?